Quick heads up before the video starts. I was a little bit stuffy, so I might sound a little bit off. Enjoy.
It's your boy, Kaiju Cooper, back with another weird rambling video. A couple weeks ago, I think you guys will remember, I covered issue 30 of Transformers Skybound, which at the time of making that video, it leaked early. So now the issue is out officially. Plenty of people have read it, and the reactions have honestly been really consistent, which is something I personally didn't expect. I thought it was going to be a lot more divided. Sure, you have your die-hard defenders here and there, but for the most part, everyone is in agreement. This issue kind of sucked. A lot of people don't like Alita becoming the new Prime, and I am one of those people. However, I think there has been a very big fallout from this issue that I kind of wanted to talk about today because, my God, it's getting a little weird. Obviously, if you're missing context, go check out my last video. I kind of summarize and recap all of issue 30 and give my personal thoughts and opinions on that. But today, I want to be talking more about some general reactions that I've seen and some very worrying responses. Something I actually realized after I had made that video is that it kind of ignores a lot of the writing Daniel Warren Johnson did, or at least the way I interpret it is the book kind of spells out why Alita is less suited to be a leader than Optimus Prime is, and then you kind of have that being spun around just to unnecessarily change the status quo. And I think that's a big reason why Alita Prime didn't work, is that it kind of creates this false narrative. And then you get to Earth and you have Optimus doing really well with a lot of resources, all the Autobots are revitalized again, and it kind of tells you Optimus has made the right choices by protecting Earth. He's been rewarded for his efforts with this plentiful bounty of energon that he can use to replenish his own forces and even help some Decepticons, which leads one of them to straight up switching allegiances. So having Alita kind of come in and just assert all of these things that aren't true, like Optimus not being the leader is needed for this war, that's just false. But once again, that's a rehash of last video. If you really want to hear more in depth about that, go check the last one out. The reactions I've seen to Skybound issue 30 are getting a little gross. So for starters, I'm seeing some really trashy AI generated thumbnails of some pretty badly made videos that misunderstand what makes Alita Prime not work. And there's this air of misogyny that is starting to creep into this conversation that I really don't think should be there. I'm seeing people say Transformers is a testosterone-fueled franchise. I don't know what that's even supposed to mean. It's not out of the realm to say that majority of Transformers fans are male, but it isn't change the fact that a female couldn't take the lead in one of these stories. I think that's a really weird assumption to make. You can have gender diversity in a story and not have it be, I guess, feminist. That's another word I'm seeing be thrown around here too, and it's like, what are you talking about? It's kind of summoned these weird right-wing grifters back into the franchise, people that are 50 years old that haven't been in touch with the franchise, coming back just to complain about a comic book they haven't kept up with at all. And I'm seeing some people complain about RC Magnus. RC Magnus was actually set up pretty well, I would say. You kind of get this backstory for RC that she is the Iron Apprentice of Ultra Magnus after her clan was killed. Basically, to put it simply, RC's family dies. Ultra Magnus takes her in as basically his daughter. She's shown to be a very experienced marksman. She takes a shot for Skywarp, which is pretty interesting, and she's generally shown to be a really brave combatant. And all of those things culminate with her passing the trials to become a Magnus. That is also coupled with Ultra Magnus's PTSD and him feeling inadequate as a Magnus. They need someone strong. So RC passes the trials, and as a result, she becomes a Magnus. That is why RC Magnus works and Alita Prime doesn't. So we're just going to run through some screenshots I've seen. There's some more AI generated garbage. There's this one. If you know what animation this screenshot is from, you can tell what the person is trying to say. Mary Sue Toi off. Don't think this is applicable. This one right here is my favorite. Have Uncle Shadow at the top saying Transformers has been really bad since Netflix took over and gave us gay bots. That is a lie. That is not true. Netflix doesn't own the rights to Transformers, and the only Transformers show they've made is the only one that I feel has kind of explicitly shown Optimus and Alita were kind of a couple. So if anything, they've made the straightest Transformers. There's just this mist of random people who are looking for something to be angry with and say that, oh my god, my favorite childhood franchise has been ruined by all all this woke trash and all these gay robots, and that's just not the case. As much as these people want to create an invisible enemy, it's just not there. That's not what's happening. Alita Prime doesn't work because the writing behind it isn't strong. You can have a female character take up the mantle of another character. RC Magnus is an example of how that worked. There's this one guy, John A. Douglas, saying Robert Kirkman is a hack. Okay, he's onto something. Also, people who haven't kept up with the comic being like, oh my god, RC Magnus 2? It's just all I'm seeing all these headlines from these articles saying Optimus Prime gets replaced with female robot lead. And I feel like that kind of tells you that they're using buzzwords to make you think that a different issue is at play here. But as of late, she's had a pretty big hand in a lot of media. Cyberworld, she's been in a movie, she's been in the comics very prominently. It makes sense that she's more at the forefront here. And these people are missing out on the characterization, and they're just going off their very limited knowledge of what was basically a one-shot character from the G1 series. I'm genuinely running out of breath while talking about some of this stuff because it's just so appalling. There's this channel named Lore Lockdown, which has this absolutely abhorrent AI generated thumbnail, and then Facebook, you got all the Gen Xers just spitting their shit over there. In my personal opinion, they shouldn't do this. I predict they'll lose a lot of fans with this one due to the fact that this is a testosterone powered brand. And I'm just being honest. If I don't properly communicate how I'm trying to say I don't like Alita Prime, you kind of get lumped in with these absolute losers. I'm just seeing poorly constructed arguments. A lot of these people, whenever they get called like a poser or anything, they just start scrambling to prove that they're a real fan of the franchise and they've kept up. And then they'll say something that just kind of signals they haven't kept up at all. But yeah, I just wanted to make a little video about the real nasty looking fallout I've seen from this whole thing, and that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you for watching this video. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my toy house for original art and character projects there. I'm pretty proud of that stuff. And that's about it for today's video. Hopefully I'll be back with something soon. And yeah, have a good night. See you in the next one.